Well, here we are. Another episode of the Terror Zone podcast coming at you in the middle of the fucking month out of nowhere. I posted on Instagram the other day that I'd have one out for you guys, and here I am. Been real busy this summer. I'm so tired, exhausted, but I love it. Just fucking go all summer. The next thing you know, it's fucking 40 degrees and 30 degrees and negative 20 degrees. Summer is coming up to an end very quickly here, so enjoy it while you can, people. Obviously, see the title of this podcast. Got our boy Barker from Power of Fear. The band is so fucking hard. If you haven't checked them out, I don't know what you're waiting for. For sure you have by now, especially if you're going to turn on this podcast. You might have heard him in his other band, No Good Deed. They are also super fire. From Pittsburgh. They're just fucking tough. Power of Fear and No Good Deed, but kind of just transitioned. So you got to listen to the podcast to hear all about the history of it, and what we talked about was a really good time. I'm not going to keep you guys too long, but just got to give a little show update. Oh shit. Today, Friday, fucking August 11th, is Wreckage and Combust with Doubt It and Inner Peace. My bad, I can't remember everything, but they're playing at Edgeman today. I'm recording this Thursday. You know me, unorganized as fuck. It's gonna be $6, $15, cash only at the fucking door. And then Saturday, oh shit, Enemy of God, opening up for Orthodox and Momentum and Chamber and another band. I can't remember everything, like I said. Then that's at the Sanctuary. Doors are probably at 6:30, maybe 7. Doing this off the top of my head. What do you want? What do you want from me, cocksucker? What up, Joey Diaz? Then Sunday at Smalls Bar in Hamtramck. Life of Agony. There was 30 years of River Runs Red. Was sick of it all. Motherfucking Ringworm and Death in Custody. Detroit's own Death in Custody. I'm glad they're still playing shows. I haven't seen them in a while now, so shout out to Ralph and his whole shit. He's always holding it down for Detroit hardcore. But yeah, fucking Ringworm. It's been quite a while since I've seen them, so I'm looking forward to that. And Sick of It All always puts on a great live show. So back when I first started getting into punk rock and shit, I knew who Sick of It All was before I even knew they were hardcore or anything about NYHC. I didn't know none of that shit. I was listening to the Casualties, the Unseen, Dropkick Murphy, shit like that. But I listened to them, but then as I slowly got into like heavier hardcore and heavier shit, I kind of put Sick of It All on the back burner. Like, I don't need to listen to them. And, but, them live, they're so good live, and they've been doing it for so fucking long that they get the respect and the appreciation. So that's cool. Excited to see them. And, that's it for this week. Then I think it's next week, or 2 Fridays from now. Hoods at the Sanctuary with Brick by Brick and Detroit's finest and newest band, Dead Hang. Shout out to Julian and Spry and all the homies. If you haven't checked them out, do yourself a favor. Go listen to them. They got their shit on Spotify. They got a little EP demo thing out there now. I think it's also on Bandcamp, of course. Anyways, enough about this shit. Go ahead and get into the episode. I hope you guys like it. I had a good time talking to Barker. I gotta fucking push it out there. September 9th, Power of Fear will be here in Detroit with Pain Clinic and Ante Up and Bitter Truth and fucking Poison Tongues and Under the Knife. We're gonna try to get a little surprise going here soon, so keep your eyes and ears peeled. Listen, fucking pay attention. it ain't gonna be that cool. So don't get fucking too speculative. So holler. Just be ready for an announcement. I'll talk to you motherfuckers later. Recording in progress. All right. So once again, I appreciate you coming on to do this, man. We've been talking about it. I don't know, for like a month or two now since the new record came out and shit. And I'm glad to have you on. I really like the music.
Yeah, man.
So obviously your name is Barker. Everybody calls you Barker from Power of Fear. You do vocals on Days Records. Just fucking dropped the new what you call it, LPs, like 9 songs, right? Oh shit, we already froze. You're welcome. You're like the internet's supposed to be fucking great. All this Wi-Fi technology you pay $120 a month for, it still fucks up.
Yeah, I feel you.
Okay, so I don't even know where we were. We're talking about you're the singer of the newest and coolest band in Pittsburgh hardcore, in my opinion. I know you've been around a little while now, but yeah. So the last thing I ask you, would you can is it an LP or an EP since it's like 9 songs?
I guess it'd be an LP. I mean, it's 8 songs and an intro.
Okay.
I think it clocks in around like 24 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I guess it's like technically a full length.
okay. Yeah. I never knew what would be the difference between an EP and an LP, whether it's like the length or like how many tracks. I have no idea.
I think the like standard for it is like anything like over like 20 minutes is considered long play.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Fucking shit. I just listened to
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I don't really follow any of that shit, bro.
Well, anyway, I mean, so obviously your band is sick as fuck. You guys kind of came out pretty hot, man. I just seen you guys were around and I was like, oh yeah, Days Records putting out that single. You guys did it with Austin. Is that his name from Buried Dreams?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, dude. That's like when I first heard that, like just the intro of that song, that American History X sample. I was like, oh,
yeah.
what the fuck I'm about to listen to right now. And that's right away, man. That was a hell of a sample to pick, and then to have a dude from Buried Dreams on there. It's a great song.
Yeah, Austin's been my boy for like probably last like 10, 15 years. I was actually like real cool with him like way before. He used to live in the Ohio Valley in Barnesville, and him and his boy Ben, they used to run a house venue out of his parents' basement, and it was called the Lakeview House. And they had all kind of crazy shows down there where like bands that had no business playing in a fucking house. Like I think one of my favorites there, we seen like Harm's Way and Zabalba,
Oh
like literally just
Christ.
in his fucking parents' basement. But yeah, me and him go way back. Still got nothing but love for him. And yeah, we've been doing like music and shit for like over 10 years. And when we were recording this, I just hit him up and was like, yo, like we've been doing this shit way too long. Like we should have like something to like collab on by now. Like, you know, hop on one of these songs. And he was like more than down to do it. And I don't know, I think it came out like perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I'd agree. Just like hearing it from like the first whenever it came out. I don't know exactly what month it came out, but I was like, oh, so I can't wait to hear the rest of this shit. Then you guys dropped another single, then another one, I think, and I was like, man, I can't wait to hear the rest of it. And it's all well put together, fucking album all around. It's heavy and in your face, fucking beat your ass shit, and that's what I'm all about. So I mean,
Yeah.
um, what how'd the band come together with you guys? Because I know you've had a couple former bands, at least one. You were in Watcher, right? Is that your
Yeah.
first band?
No, I mean, Watcher, I mean, we're still kind of a band, but
Okay.
I mean, it's like weird. Like, I'm 31, but I'm still like the baby of that band because like everyone else is like pushing like 40, almost 50 in some of them dudes. But they just don't got like the time to really like do anything like, you know, balls to the walls, like playing shows like every month here and there kind of thing. But yeah, we were in No Good Deed before like turning into Power of Fear. Uh, you know, No Good Deed was kind of like if you start like at the very beginning, it was me, my boy Poop Toss. His real name is Derek, but everyone from the Berg knows him as Poop Toss
All right.
just because of this. he does this real weird mosh move where he's kind of like hitting the ground and then his arms are going over his shoulder and shit. And everyone was like, yo, he looked like a monkey throwing poop. So literally, I mean, since I was like 15, 16, when I was introduced to him, like everybody knows him as Poop Toss. That's just his nickname.
That's a great
But
name.
yeah, it started out with like him, my buddy Jacob, Nick, and we all kind of just, there wasn't really much thought in it. It was just kind of like all we wanted is people to mosh. And like, it was just nothing but just hard ass riffs and shit. And there wasn't like much thought put into it at first. It was just kind of like, yo, like dance or we fucking didn't do our job. And all kind of shit came up. Like some people were like, "Oh, I want to go do merch for a band for like a couple months or whatever," or had other projects going on. And uh, pretty much by the end of it, like through everything, like we had a revolving door of different people in Pittsburgh hardcore that played in No Good Deed, and we ended up with close to the lineup we have now. And probably like during COVID, we ended up getting our drummer Harry. We like locked him in and everything, and it was me, him, John, and our bass player Nard. And we started writing this record like during like probably like right before COVID started happening and everything. And we would like hammer down for a couple months, fuck off for a couple months, kind of shit, and then after like all these like member changes and everything, I was like the only OG member left from No Good Deed from like 2013. And when this record like came together, we were kind of like listening to it and we were like, I mean, you could still kind of hear that it sounds similar to No Good Deed, but in a lot of ways, the new record is like, I mean, it just don't like mesh the same. Like there's like a different like feel to all these new songs we put out. And when we were talking with Days about putting the record out, he was like, like being you're the only like original person left, and all these songs sound so much different compared to like all the other stuff. He was like, would you guys be like down with, you know, starting fresh, like rebranding kind of? Which I mean, it kind of made sense because, like I said, like whenever No Good Deed first started, it was just like, oh, let's just play whatever like dumbass caveman shit we can do, and just see what happens. And then like probably the last two like Deed releases, we kind of like started putting more thought into it and like actually doing some like musical composition type shit where it wasn't just like, all right, a breakdown into a breakdown like kind of shit. And all these new songs, like they're like well thought out, structured and like shit like that. And like put a lot of fucking like time and like thinking into like how they came out, like being presented and shit. And like doing No Good Deed for like 10 years, like I mean, that's a long time for any fucking band, but that shit was like near and dear to me. We traveled up and down the East Coast, like touring with it and shit. But it just kind of made sense to like, start a whole brand new chapter because like everything we were doing with this new record was like so much different than anything else we'd like done. So like it just kind of made sense, and we rolled the dice, like because it's like a big like gamble to take. It's like you roll the dice and you fucking start off fresh. All of a sudden, like no one could give a fuck about it, or like it just don't land or whatever. And then it's like, all right, we pull the plug on our name that had some rep behind it for like 10 years to like try that, but with like Days and Lumpy like backing us and everything, like it almost felt like a seamless transition to where like we were like just as far along ahead as we were before, like rebranding, and then now we're like getting like offers like way better than we ever got as No Good Deed doing it like DIY. So I mean, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are. I mean, I thought you guys hit the ground running with some like fire under your ass right away, like and like showed up
Yeah,
like on the internet, and I was like, damn, like especially being on Days and having those connections, that's really really good transition, like you said. You going from doing it your own way, then having Lumpy and his whole fucking distribution fucking factory he does on his own, So that's cool, man.
yeah.
Did you know him before he reached out to you guys for the Power of Fear thing, or Just
I mean, I knew him like when he was in sanction and all that. Like, we might have said like "What's up" a couple of times, but no like serious connection or anything like that. We just ended up sending him the whole record, and we're like, it was kind of like a shot in the dark kind of thing, where I was like, like I've always like fucked with his label ever since it came out during COVID, and they got a great roster. So I was just like, shot in the dark. Like I didn't even expect him to like hit me back or anything. And then, he like ended up emailing me back and was like, yo, this is fucking sick. And it was just kind of like, oh, so I guess we're going to like really do this. And, I mean, you've seen how it unfolded.
yeah, man. Hey, it's good to get positive feedback right away because everybody was sharing the shit out of it. And what was your guys' first show? Was your first show
Our first show was
was it
June
New
3rd.
Jersey or something?
Yeah, Bayway's on days two,
Yeah,
and we
shout
did
out to
their
Bayway.
release show for the Newport sessions. And yeah, for a first show with like, I mean, I think when we played that show, we only had, I think, yeah, 3 songs out. But I mean, people still like were like going the fuck off, and like people were still like singing along and shit to like the ones we had released and everything. So like, yeah, it was definitely a good response. And like every show we played since, like, more people are singing along and like know the shit already. And we just played with Out of Pocket in Philadelphia.
Hmm.
I think it was like July 8th. I think we did. We played at like some like church or something. It wasn't the Unitarian one, but it was some like little fucking place out in like the fucking hood in Philly. And, even then, like, I mean, the record had only been out for like a week, and like people were singing along like they knew the shit for years. So that was cool.
Yeah, that is cool, man. I don't know what I got for you guys. I don't. You we talked about Watcher a little bit. So that was that after your first band you had mentioned, or was that like in between those? Was it, or was that only like a COVID thing? 'Cause I remember when you guys
Uh,
when I think it was Gabriel from for Negative Aggression Tapes.
I don't think. I mean, we
No,
did. I think we did a CD of it, but I came in the Watcher like they did the Plague sessions,
okay,
Plague, COVID, whatever,
right, right,
because that whole band came out of like lockdown kind of shit.
yeah,
I want to say it was 2022. Yeah, like they hit me up, and the dude they had playing bass, he kind of flaked out on them, and they wanted me to fill in on bass for a couple of shows, and I ended up doing that, and all the dudes and me clicked, and they were like, "Yeah, why don't you just like join full time?" So like, I actually had nothing to do with like the whole Plague Sessions like
oh, okay, like
CD and everything.
distribution and all that shit. Okay,
Yeah, I
oh,
kind of came in after the fact, but
okay,
I think I played like 5 or 6 shows with them, and we actually have like probably like half or 3/4 of a full length that are just like ready to fucking go. But uh, everyone's just kind of like doing their own thing. Like the
sure.
drummer's always fucking working, and he bought a fucking camp and he hunts and shit.
Nice.
And
Yeah, and hey, it's good music. I remember listening to it when that shit was around. It's really good. So that'd be cool. Eventually, that made its way out into the world.
yeah, we've been like tossing around ideas about taking a bunch of the songs we had and like maybe doing a fucking CD and then playing like 1 or 2 shows a year. But it's definitely something that'll never be like full time, just because like I think everyone but me and Ondo, who he also plays in Enemy Mind,
Okay.
uh, we're the only 2 people without like 2 or 3 fucking kids.
Okay.
Like everyone's always busy with like their family and shit like that. But yeah,
Sure.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Not every band can be fucking hammering out playing a fuck ton of shows every year.
Hey, yeah, man. People can only fit in so much. We got a lot of real life shit going on. So
Yeah.
fuck it. And shit. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was gonna say when I was talking to you online, you had mentioned that You had came out here for a show for a D Block show. You came out here before.
Yeah, I want to say it was probably 2021. It probably was. It was Shattered Realm, D Block, Sector. I think it's Hands of God was
The
another
enemy
local
of
band,
God. It was
or
enemy
Enemy
of
of
God.
God. Yeah.
Street
There was a
Struck
Hands of God.
played. Yeah. He's on a
Yeah,
Sunday. Yeah, I booked that show. Yeah, I did that. I just remember you saying you had a scratched cornea or something. What happened
yeah,
during
dude.
D Block? You got all fucked up.
I was dancing for D Block and I like did like some spin move or something, and this dude like reached around my fucking face and like he grabbed my face from behind,
Oh
and
shit.
his fingernail just ended up like just
Oh.
clawing across my eyeball. And like when it first happened, I didn't really, know like what the dude did to me. And it just felt like I had a real bad eyelash in my eye.
Hmm.
And I went into the bathroom and I was like looking at it like, like it feels like there's something in there. And I kept like flushing out with water. And like no matter what I did, like it was just fucking screaming. And I ended up driving the whole way home from Detroit, like just covering my own eyeball because I couldn't even like open it. It was just like throbbing. And uh this girl ended up like convincing me. She's like, "Yo, you got to go like see an eye doctor because anytime I open my eye, like on the left side, it kind of looked like how your eyes look if you like open them like when you're swimming underwater in a pool.
Oh, it just
But
burns. Yeah.
it was just all blurry, like it
Oh
was like
shit.
underwater on
Okay.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
side.
Yeah. Ooh, that's
And
scary, dude. You want to fuck with your vision.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you like see that shit like when you open your eye, you're going like, "Oh fuck, is this forever?"
Oh,
And like you start like rethinking like, should I have been dancing for that fucking band or in general? But I ended up going to like some optometrist and like they fucking checked it out and they were like, yeah, they were like, you got like almost like a quarter-inch cut across your fucking eyeball. And I had to get like, I don't know, some like weird shit they did with my eye. And I had to pay like over $100 for these like prescription eye drops.
mm,
And I had to wear a fucking eye patch for like 2 weeks to where like let my eye heal.
yeah.
And like, I don't know, like most people ain't wore an eye patch, but like if you wear an eye patch out in public, like everyone fucking looks at you like, like, yo, like this dude's seen some shit, or this dude used to see some shit. Like I'd be in like a fucking like whatever like convenience store and like everyone's eyeballing you like, yo, like the fuck's up with this dude? He's got a fucking eye patch on.
Yeah. You automatically look crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, everyone's like side eyeing you. You can feel them staring and shit. But like luckily, after like 2 weeks, I took that shit off. And, like, my eyes are fine now, but that was definitely a close call where I was just kind of like, holy shit.
Yeah. Fuck, man. Welcome to Detroit. People scratch your eyes out, I guess. I don't, I don't
Apparently,
know. Fuck.
a lot of
What?
places I never had my eyeball clawed out.
Oh my God. What band was that during? Was that during during D Block?
It
Was
was
it in the
pretty
beginning?
cool
Oh fuck. Yeah, they were like second or third.
because we were hanging out at Cam's house, and I was like, all right, got to put on for the Detroit boys. And yeah, I danced like 3 times, and then I got my eyeball clawed open.
Oh, that's fucked up. How do you know Camden? Just for hardcore shit?
No, the girl I was dating at the time, she like knew a bunch of those dudes, and
Okay.
ended up just going up there. It was like the D Block dudes and the Missing Link dudes. It was like when they still flew dudes out from like California and shit.
Hmm.
But yeah, we just like chilled and they like made burgers and dogs at his crib.
Oh, that's cool.
And
Yeah.
then went to the show and got my eyeball clawed out.
Yeah. That show was on a Sunday night. It was a good show, but I was kind of sad. Like a lot of it wasn't that busy. People were still kind of like weary about like the whole COVID thing. So I still it was just like a couple months after it like got lifted around here, and people were like, maybe not like still, but it's like, all right, well, let's get fucking Shattered Realm and Sector here to but
Yeah,
deep.
dude, it was a good lineup, but like I did expect more people to be there, and I was also very disappointed in Detroit because they did not show out for Sector. Like I even
No,
had my eyes bleeding and shit, and like I went off for Sector, but like literally like 4 fucking people danced for Sector, and I was like, this is disrespect.
yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they didn't hit around here at that time because it was a Raw Life and Sector had just put out a split like a few
Yeah,
months before that, so it was kind of like it was like a release tour thing that they did, and I was like, damn, this show fucking sucks. I was like, damn it. Like,
I still have fun, dude. Like every band still like did good and
oh
everything.
yeah, I enjoyed all the performances and everybody that was there. Whoever showed up, fuck yeah. But I was like, more people for sure should have been. It was Sunday night, but it was 8 bands on a Sunday night. That's a fucking bad
Yeah, it
idea
was
too. That's a
long.
bad. That's my fault. But yeah, that was a good show. That was I think it was Missing Links only like first or second show too.
Yeah, that was even like before fucking Nick from Pain of Truth joined them because they were still flying dudes out from California to like play. That's why they weren't active at the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wasn't even sure how that whole thing happened. Like, I just wanted to book a show. And I was talking to Camden about like D Block. He's like, well, I know these bands would play. I was like, all right. Then he got like 4 fucking bands. I was like, okay, I guess like this would be great. Yeah, because that was the first show I ever booked. I just wanted to do it
Oh
for
yeah.
once. Yeah, yeah, first time ever. And it was cool. I mean, I had a great time. I just wish there was more people at that one. But
Yeah, I had a good time. I feel like, dude, if it would have been like a Saturday, I feel like it would have probably been like twice as cool. Like
yeah.
everyone likes shows, dude, but no one likes staying out late on a fucking Sunday.
No, no, that was a bad move. But what are you gonna do? But hey, well, I mean, good news. You are my third show I ever booked. Power of Fear coming through in September. So that's
Yeah,
I don't book shows off once a year. I try to do like promote the podcast, like stupid shit. But it's still cool to have some bands come out and fucking have a little party, get together.
yeah, man, we'll come through.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking awesome in September. You guys rolling out with Pain Clinic? Those have to be your boys. You know those guys? Yeah, I'm sure you
Yeah,
do.
yeah, we
Yeah.
done all them for a minute.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing your show, and then we're gonna be playing Columbus the day after it. So
Hell yeah.
I don't know, whether chill in Detroit for the night or make our way down to Ohio or some hotel and get fucked up there or something.
Yeah. I mean, Columbus about 3 hours from Detroit. It's not a bad drive, but
Yeah,
Ohio does fucking suck. Like just like it's like a weird state, cops and shit. Like it feels a little worse than Michigan because you have all this weed everywhere in Michigan for cheap, and then
yeah,
Ohio, like like weed's not legal there.
yeah. Yeah, Ohio kind of sucks, but they got some good hardcore shit going on.
Oh
It's about
yeah,
all they
yeah. For Clyde Records, shout out to them. They put out a lot of good shit. I wouldn't be surprised if they booked the show down there, Columbus.
Yeah, they booked No Good Deed. It was a couple dudes I know from down in Columbus, and Clyde Records put on the last show we played down there. It was like us, Life of Crime, and a couple other bands. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but it was like fuck. When was it? Maybe like September, October last year, somewhere
Oh,
around there. It
okay.
was like yeah, it was like a couple months before we ended up changing our name and shit, but we were still playing a couple songs off that new record and all
That's
that.
what's
But it
up,
was
man.
yeah, they got a laundromat that they like throw shows at, and like it's just like a shithole where there's like dudes are all like cracked out, like sleeping next to like the fucking washing machines, and then like there's a bar inside of it. Like I don't know anywhere in PA that you can fucking go do your laundry and like drink fucking whiskey while you're getting your laundry done. So like yeah,
Yeah,
Ohio's different.
yeah, yeah. Ohio's a wild place. Columbus is different. It's like because I have family who used to live down there, but I stayed at a hotel because I didn't want to stay at my wife's aunt's house. I was like, "Let's get a hotel," and uh,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, it was like a cheap, it was like a night's in." Like, I didn't know Columbus was like fucking like sketchy like that. I had no idea till I went down there, got a hotel room. It's just cars in the parking lot, fucking people drinking, loud music. I was like, it's a hotel. Like, what the fuck? I was like, this is
Yeah.
wild as hell, man. Get me out of here. I stayed the night, but it still felt fucking weird. I was like, if I steal my car out here. But I mean, I didn't even ask you, how did you get into hardcore? You're what, 31, you said? You must have been going to shows quite a
Yeah.
while now. Is there any particular story or anything cool on how you got into the scene?
I mean, it's not like a typical cool one or anything, but I don't know. My dad was always in bands like before I was even born. Like he played in like bar cover band like type shit, and that's how I met my mom. But yeah, I don't know. I was probably like 12 or 13. My dad, like he used to be a bass player, and he ended up buying a guitar when I was like 12. And I was just like, yo, like this shit's fucking cool. And like, I wasn't listening to anything cool at the time. Like, I mean, he had me with like, like Judas Priest, shit like that. But like my personal like music taste was like fucking like Blink 182, like Sum 41 type shit when I was like 12, 13 years old. Because my older cousin like had these CDs. And he's like, yeah, check this shit out. And they're just fucking talking about farting and drinking and shit. And I was like, yo, that's cool. And yeah, for my 13th birthday, like I like just kept noodling around on my dad's guitar that he bought, and he ended up buying me a guitar for my 13th birthday.
Okay.
And I would learn like all this like goofy shit. Like I think the one that like did it for me, there's not a good song by any means, but Simple Plan had a song called Shut Up, where like they go into like some fancy like ballroom where these people are all in like suits and shit, and he's got his like
Mm.
fucking wonky faux hawk and shit, and he's just like on top of all their like fucking tables like going shut up like kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, like I want to tell people to shut the fuck up, like. And so like that kind of got me like into playing guitar and shit. And then I met a couple kids in like probably like late middle school, like during MySpace. And we found out about this venue that was like maybe like 25 minutes from my parents' house. And it was called Club Octane. And they would have all kind of like, across the board type shit. Like there'd be metalcore, metal, fucking occasional hardcore shows or like death metal type shit. And when I was like 13, 14, they had shows like 5 days a week where it would be like, $5 to get in kind of thing. So like,
Hmm.
like there might be a metalcore show this day, fucking hardcore show this day, but there was like something different like all the time coming through that place. And I kind of like dabbled in like weird like metalcore shit before hardcore, like Norma Jean, like even like Devil Wears Prada when I was like 13, 14, because you don't know any better like what's good and what's not.
Right.
And there was always like this weird overlap that kind of like came into these shows where there'd be like all of us that were like 13, 14, and we're kind of just, jumping around, like trying to fucking like mosh a little bit, but it's totally wrong. And then there'd be like the overlap of like the hardcore kids that would come to these shows and they were just like decking motherfuckers in the face. And I want to say it was like maybe like 2007 or so, but uh, Devil Wears Prada played at that place, and it kind of had a little overlap where there was like kind of metalcore, hardcore, but like it was a crossover crowd. And at that point, anytime like people were dancing and shit, like it was like okay, you bump into someone, like you say you're sorry, or like you don't just go up to someone and punch them in the face. And while we were at that show, this dude like just straight up like cold cocked me, like made eye contact, and was just like, bam, and he blasted me right in my fucking shit, and like split my lip open and shit, and like it was whatever. Like went home, finished the fucking show, everything. But then like I got home, and my mom was like, "Oh my god, like what happened to my baby?" And I was like, "Yo, this dude busted my shit," and I was like, and I fucking loved it, and like and her and my aunt were like at the kitchen table and like they're giving each other like concerned looks and shit. And they were like, yo, there's something wrong with this kid. Like he just got blasted in the face and he's like excited about it. But that was kind of like the first like taste of like, oh shit, like something can happen to you like at one of these shows, even though that wasn't the type of show like you'd expect something like that to happen. But then I started like deep diving like into other shit. Like some of the first like core bands are probably like Terror, CDC. Like I don't know if you ever fuck with CDC.
Fuck yeah, dude.
They were like huge in the mid 2000s. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't go anywhere without seeing like 20 CDC shirts, with like the infamous, what I'm talking about t-shirt that like no one could wear today, but
Yeah,
like shit like
dude.
that. But
I used to try to wear that shirt to school, man. They get so mad at me. They're like, "What are you
yeah,
like? You can't
it's
wear that.
it would apply
Obviously, you can't
anywhere.
wear that." Yeah, what's the point? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Uh,
I remember
I
seeing
like
them. I seen CDC the first time in like '04 or '05. They had fucking and they'd played at like a little bar basement like down the street from my house, and I was like, I think I was 17 at the time, but I remember seeing it, and it was the same thing. I mean, I had seen like hardcore, like moshing and shit like that because you can't find out about them without more
Yeah,
hardcore. You can't. It's like you don't just find CDC. You have to be in it a little bit. But yeah, I remember seeing them coming through a long time ago, man. I wish I tried to get them for the power when you guys are coming in September, but it didn't work out, man. I was trying to get them to come play.
they don't play many shows anymore,
Yeah.
but yeah, I ended up getting to bands like that and like fucking these kids I was friends with at school, like they started putting me on other bands. And then it went from being like, oh, like, like don't bump into someone while you're at a show to like, yo, take that motherfucker's head off, like, you know, hospital kind of shit. And then it was like, oh, this is cool. And then like from there I was like fucking hooked. And pretty much all the crazy shit I did as a teenager just ensued after that.
Fuck, man. Yo, and never looked back ever since. You just fucking just been neck deep for the past how many years? 15 years.
Yeah, like 16, like it's funny, like when I started like playing guitar, like I like was all like guitar nerd about shit and like I'd be doing like sweeping and soloing and shit. Like I took lessons and then it was like, yo, you don't need to hit anything above the 12th fret. Like you just gotta go like jun 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 jun. And like I was like, yo, fuck anything that ain't like a fucking palm mute after that. And like now I can't like do any whittly diddly shit. Like I'm just like a rhythm ass beating master with this shit now. But I like gave up all musical talent for this shit.
He's like, just stopped trying and played hardcore.
Yeah, it's like, I don't need to do any of this fucking nerd ass like whittly diddly shit. It's like I can just come up with a hard part and that's all you need.
Yeah. Well, you know, so so you were going to Pittsburgh shows like when you first started going then? Like were you like going like AJ's shows and like Ty Dawson's shows and shit like that, or was that like a separate
No,
time?
that was a little before me because they all like a lot of AJ shit. Like the fucking Planet of the Apes was like north of Pittsburgh, and I
Oh,
grew
okay.
up like 45 minutes south. So like in like I was saying with like the MySpace shit, I was always like fucking like setting up deals like trading cigarettes or fucking weed and shit to be like, yo, come pick me up at my parents' crib to like drive me 40 minutes to this fucking show kind of deal. But I definitely did see like AJ and them like they'd always come down to where that Club Octane was, and I was talking about Poop Toss earlier. That was kind of like the gateway for me because Poop Toss opened this venue called the Subculture, and that was like super shithole space that he like rented out in this town called Glassport, and it basically became like a fucking like WWE match in that place where like it was like no holds barred, anything goes in this fucking room like while these bands are playing, and like like people were getting beat up all the fucking time, like people were throwing chairs and shit. Like I got my shit split open a couple of different times, but that was kind of like I guess like the like stomping grounds or whatever because he opened that venue and it was literally like 10 minutes from my parents' crib. So like if I couldn't convince my dad or my mom to be like drive me down there, like if someone was going to that show, I'd be like, yo, I'm 10 minutes from this shithole. Like come pick me up. And like pretty much always got somebody to take me up on that offer. So like, yeah, that shit probably went for like till like 2010 or 11, but there's a lot of like wild shows that happened there.
Oh, here we are. We're back. We're talking about fuck Pittsburgh hardcore and shit like that. I remember when you started actually like going to like Pittsburgh a lot for all like the big shows. Like, are you friends with like AJ and Ty, or do you just know who
Yeah.
they are? Okay, I don't know if it was like you guys are pretty close now, or you're still, people run
Yeah.
in different circles in hardcore. Not everyone's fucking friends.
Yeah, like growing up in high school, we were kind of at odds because like everyone I was friends with, like, dude, we moshed like fucking dickheads and like we were running everyone's dicks into the fucking dirt, like just beating on everybody and shit. And then like, I don't know, just grew up a little bit, kind of like realized like, all right, you can like dance hard, but it doesn't have to be like a fucking, felony assault on somebody, like kind of shit. And like, I don't know, we just all kind of like grew up a little bit and like chilled out a little bit.
Sure, yeah, man, I can definitely relate, man. You're not looking to ruin everyone's night. Maybe some people's.
Yeah, just a few people.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Are you going? I'm sure you got to be going to that. A fucking Codes World show. You'll be there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm going there.
Yeah, I'm thinking about going out there too because my my wife's aunt, how I said she lives in Ohio, not Columbus anymore, but a little more southwest, down by Wheeling, West Virginia, which is like an hour and like 20 minutes from
Yeah,
New Kensington or whatever. So I figured
yeah,
I'd drive down there Friday and I'd fucking drive to fucking Preserving on Saturday, spend the day, and fucking drive back. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the whole hardcore museum and all the records and merch and shit like that. I'm really excited to finally go there.
yeah, dude. It's a fucking awesome place, and like, it's just like real cool that it's like in my fucking backyard. Like, it's like a 20-minute drive from my house to like get out there. So like, it ain't hard to get out there at all. But like growing up where I was at, like where my parents were, like when I was in high school and shit, like I mean, we had that Club Octane place probably till like around 2010 or 12. And there's like a couple other places like Roboto and shit like that that did shows. But the shit that he like put together, like it started out in the fucking it's like right next door to the building it's in now, but it was in the fucking magistrate basement.
Oh shit!
It's a little ironic because it's like right next to the police station kind of shit. But yeah, it was like a fucking box in the first one he had, and like if you had 20 people in the room, it was still like, might get a little weird in here and
Right.
shit. But yeah, he bought the Salvation Army like right next door where like it used to be like a big church chapel type shit. And uh yeah, it's even changed a lot since he got that. But there's like the regular size room that holds like I think like 400 people or so. And then there's like a DIY room that like it don't have like the pro sound or anything. It's just like a PA and it's like in a little fucking box that like smaller shows happen in. And I think that one holds like 75 people, something like that. And then the room he just like opened up back in like May or June around there is like the actual church room with like, giant stage lights and like all that shit. And yeah, me, him, and Ty, and this dude Randy, he plays in Face Wreck too. We all
Shout out
like,
Face Rick.
yeah, we tore out all the fucking like pews and carpeting and shit. And I helped him with that for like 10 hours the one day where we just fucking ripped up the floor and shit to like get it ready. But yeah, the newest room he opened for like the big shows, like the Codes World show is going to be in there. Like that one's like 2 floors where like it holds 900 people
Damn,
and there's like 2 floors. So like it's kind of like whenever you like go to like a church for a wedding or some shit, like there's like a whole like balcony section like up at the top and shit where like you can literally just sit in a church pew and watch like bands play.
that's gonna be
And
cool, man. It's gonna be a long day, so I'm sure people will
oh
be sitting up
yeah.
there.
Yeah, they got like food and they just got a liquor license too. So like, all the fucking whiskey will be flowing and all his little vegan hamburgers and shit.
Maybe Yingling on draft. Will it be that?
I don't know. They got some kind of beer, but it's Pittsburgh, so like I'm willing to bet there'll be Yingling. I mean, I
That's
don't
my
even
favorite
fucking
beer.
care really.
Okay.
I'm all about whiskey.
Oh yeah, yeah. Up here, Yingling is kind of like a novelty because you can't buy it in Michigan. I don't know why,
Yeah,
some sort of weird fucking liquor law bullshit. But there's like a family in Ohio, so every time we go down there, you got like 2, 3 cases and bring it back. But
yeah. Everyone likes it, dude. I don't know. I just ain't a beer dude. Like, if I drink a Yingling, I gotta like either like drink it competitively or just fucking chug it.
Ray, you gotta just stab a hole in it and
Yeah,
shotgun it.
you
Yeah,
won't catch me chilling just drinking a Yingling. Yeah,
dude,
a couple of my boys will die by that shit though.
it's so good. It's so fucking good. Like I just found out about it maybe like 4 or 5 years. I had no idea. I don't know why I didn't know about it, but somebody brought it to my house or fucking something. I don't know, but I was like, damn, this is really good fucking beer. But then like not being able to like have access to it, it's like just want
Yeah,
it more and more. It's
yeah.
like that thing.
It's like down here. I don't know if you know. Like we all say yins because it's
Yins, yes, yeah, yeah,
like our dumbass version of Pittsburgh are saying you guys, but
or
a lot
y'all,
of
or
people,
yeah,
yeah, we don't say that around here. But
Yins.
like a lot of people will call it yinsling.
Yinsling. Yeah, okay, well, that's good to know because they do say yins down in my wife's aunt's house. Like I said, it's right on the Ohio River. It's right across from Wheeling.
Yeah,
So it's
little trip over.
like the same area, pretty much the same accent and shit. And let me ask you this. When I listened to is either when Ty or AJ did Joe Hardcore's podcast recently, they were talking about. I heard Joe say he was excited to come down there. He's talking about like some sort of like food truck area or something. I heard him talking about food. You know anything about food trucks in that area? He said it's over
I
by
do,
the
yeah.
yeah.
Looking,
Fill me in. Fill me in. Let me know.
basically, AJ's spot is right on the corner of the main drag in New Kensington, which is called Fifth Avenue. I think he's like on the corner of Fourth. But I think it was like the last 2 or 3 years, they're kind of going through like, I wouldn't even call it like gentrification, but like New Ken notoriously like 10 years ago, like there wouldn't have been no fucking shows there or nothing. But there's a bunch of like breweries and like small specialty shops that have been popping up there the last couple of years. And like through like, I guess like the borough or whatever, they have this event shit that goes all throughout the summer. And it's called Fridays on Fifth.
Okay.
And basically they shut the entire fucking block down throughout the town, and all the businesses run specials and shit. Like AJ's always got some like deals or whatever going on, but like on the whole block that's shut down, there's probably like 20 to 40 fucking different food trucks from like all different areas that they all post up, and everyone just like slings their fucking shit there.
Okay. Damn, sounds cool. But like I won't be going till Saturday, so I'll miss that. Even if it was at the end of September, I doubt it because like September, I think it's September 30th is the Codes
They
World
might
Day.
still be doing it. I don't know. It might
Okay.
be worth a Google.
Yeah.
But if you
Mine
could
gonna
take
be
off
on Friday anyway.
hey, dude, do it because there's a lot of fire ass food they be slinging down there.
Yeah. Any kind of good any good like fucking local places that you always go to when you're there? Like, do you live nearby that then? So you're like
Yeah, it's
it's
like
about
20
20
minutes.
minutes. Okay. So yeah, any good for local spots that what do they have there in Pittsburgh? What's like a famous food or something that's only and then I know you guys got Scrapple. Is that a good
I don't even know
Scrapple?
what the fuck. I feel like I've heard of Scrabble, but I don't even know what the fuck it is.
I don't know. It's some fucking thin sliced looking like loaf type shit. I've only seen it in Pennsylvania. I went to Reading, Pennsylvania, and I seen it on a
I don't know.
menu on the way there. It's like I don't know. It looks like a shitty corned beef in my opinion. I don't know.
Huh.
Like
I've definitely heard of it, but I might have even had it once, but it's so like
okay.
unmemorable, I wouldn't even bother with it.
Oh, I thought it was like a famous thing, it's like a Dutch, like a Pennsylvanian Dutch fucking
I don't
thing.
know. Maybe that's more like Central PA or something, but I feel like most of the places here like kind of rep their Pittsburgh shit for like food, and like they like put it on their fucking chest or whatever business it is. So I feel like I'd probably know about it more if it was like prevalent here.
Okay,
But
well I guess it's not.
I feel like any of the fucking like mid-tier motherfuckers would say like, "Oh, you got to eat at Permanis when you come here." Like I don't know if you've ever had them.
It's a Permani Bros. It's like a sandwich
Yeah,
shit.
like a sandwich bar place, but
Yeah.
like I don't even know why anyone hypes it up, dude. Like their sandwiches are like they're okay at best, and literally like their claim to fame is they just throw fucking French fries on your sandwich. Like if you want
Okay.
French fries on your sandwich so fucking bad, you could literally just do that at any fucking restaurant. Take the French fries and put them on that shit.
I know.
So like I don't know, it's decent. Like if you never had it, whatever, go ahead and try it. But
Mhm.
there's so many times like people are hitting me up and they're like, dude, I'm coming to Pittsburgh for the first time. Like you gotta take me to Permanis. I'm like, no, the fuck I don't. Like it ain't that good. Like it's okay.
And everyone gets
But
excited about what, like Wawa. Is that the thing, the Wawa, or like
we
or
don't got
Sheets?
Wawa in Pittsburgh. We got
Uh,
Sheets here.
Sheets, yeah, okay. Is it
Yeah,
similar? I don't know the difference. I know people talk
they're
about
real
those.
similar. Like a lot of people like there's like this lame ass like, oh, what's better, Sheets or Wawa? And like I mean, Sheets' food is like decent. It used to be cooler. Like I don't know if it was just because I was younger and it was cheaper, but like, I mean, I don't want to get into the fucking debate, dude. But like, straight up, like, like I'll be like, this is hardcore, and I'll be like, shot the fuck out, like leaving this is hardcore, like hungover as a motherfucker, and like, Wawa still fucking sucks. Like, I'll be starving. I'll be like, all right, let me give Wawa a chance, and like, motherfuckers don't even serve French fries. Like, the only like like claim to fame they even got in my eyes is like they got a lot of weird ass drinks you can get by the bottle there. Like they'll have like strawberry peach lemonade or some shit like that where you're like, all right, cool. Like I'll grab a half gallon of this on the way home. But like, I mean, to be hungover and like practically like a few drinks away from a hospital bed and like still feeling like I got robbed eating Wawa, like it just ain't doing it for me, man. Like, I don't know, their food's just eh.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying Sheets is like awesome or anything, but like I'm never like upset I fucking had it. Whereas like I feel like I leave Wawa depressed every fucking time I eat it. I'm like, man, I fucking spent like $14 on this and it fucking sucked.
Fuck that shit. The only thing I ever got from his sheets is like alcohol because it's cheap. Like, for some reason, like their liquor is like cheap, like $10
Yeah,
fists of shit. And I was like, all right, we'll get a couple of these fists on wherever I was going. I think I was going to my wife's aunt's once again. That's the only reason I go to Ohio or like down that way.
yeah,
Just to go there. 'Cause he lives up. She lives up on like a mountain, like by like the river, and it's just really cool area. She has like fucking 30, 40 acres. It's just her house and just fucking woods, which I'm in the straight up suburbs, here. So
yeah.
it's nice to get away. Like it's just like a different place. Like it feels like southern and fucking like quiet and relaxing, and you know.
Yeah, like yeah, I wouldn't even say Sheets is like some top tier food, but like if there's two gas stations, like by some chance, if God allowed it and there was a Wawa next to a Sheets, like I'd go to a Sheets every fucking time over a Wawa.
Yeah, you heard it here
It's at least
first.
like half decent. Like I'd rather eat it at any regular restaurant over either of those shitholes. But like, in
Yeah,
a pinch or like on the way to a show, I'm like, all right, I'll grab a couple chicken wraps or some shit or some cheese sticks or whatever.
there
But
you
I wouldn't even like I don't feel like it's even should be debated. Like, dude, it's fucking gas station food.
go. You're right. At the end of the day, it is gas station food.
Yeah, it's like which one's like less mediocre than the other.
Are you going to This Is Hardcore this year?
Probably not. Like I thought about it, but just like financially right now, with everything I got going on, like I could probably just be a piece of shit and go, but I'd probably be like smacking myself a week after because it ain't just like going to a regular show, like I mean, like I got tickets to Cold as Life in October and like, it's like, all right, whatever the ticket price, maybe we'll split a hotel room between like four people or whatever, but like the whole weekend at This Is Hardcore, it's like 150, $160 and then like got to pitch on an Airbnb, food the whole weekend. I don't know if you ever parked in Philadelphia, but it's a goddamn robbery. Like
Yeah.
last year, I went to This Is Hardcore. I think I spent like 100 or $125 just on parking my fucking car,
Fuck.
where it was like 25 or $40 a fucking day, like in a certain lot, and then like I think it went straight up to 50 if you were there for more than like 8 hours or some shit.
Jesus Christ.
But
Yeah,
like,
that is a robbery. Yeah, that's any major city. It's not that
yeah,
bad in Detroit. It's not that bad out
yeah.
here. No.
But like between that and like you gotta get food, and then like you ain't going to This Is Hardcore sober unless you're fucking straight edge. Like
Right. Only losers.
your fucking party spots for the weekend, dude. Like it adds up like pretty quick. So like I know I think I'm just gonna sit this one out this year.
Sure. Have you been to a bunch of them?
I went twice so far.
Oh, okay,
I
dude.
think I went in 2019, I think, and then like they had like the whole like COVID whatever and didn't do it for a minute, and then I went last year and I was chilling with my friends from Boston, and yeah, I was with Austin
Okay.
and all that, and hung out with them all weekend. But yeah, I just ain't financially like equipped for it right now. Like my girlfriend's a therapist and she's like starting her own business and everything. So we're like putting money into that, trying to get her on her feet and shit.
Yeah, sometimes other shit comes first. That's cool though. I would do I can't tell you how many years I said I'm going to this hardcore. I'm going. And then it comes around to it, I'm like, I can't afford it. But
Yeah, I
uh,
could be. I'd probably be eating ramen for a few weeks after it.
yeah. And with all the shit coming here to fucking Detroit, like this year, like I figured I wasn't really missing out with where we had Tied Down Fest with fucking 35
Yeah,
of like the new and upcoming bands. And then we got the Disses, or sorry, for Cold as Life in October, dude. Like,
yeah,
we're not really,
yeah.
we're
You ain't
not
hurting for
really,
bands.
yeah, exactly. It's not like, every band I've seen Pain of Truth fucking probably 11 times in the past 2 years. So, you
Yeah.
know, but it's always good to see them. Yeah. I went to
If I
Philly.
had a couple $100 just laying around, I'd be like, fuck it and go. But I
Fuck
don't know
it.
if it's just like growing up, but I'm like, I should probably just chill this year.
Yeah. Since you guys are coming to Detroit in September and then in October, like they're like, do you got any like I don't know if you're anything like me, but like if I go somewhere, I'm looking up the food. I want to see what's fucking there. Is there anything you got your eye on or anything you're trying to eat when you come out?
No, dude, I ain't really much of like a foodie nerd at all. Like,
Oh, I
uh,
am.
as a person, I'm a terrible fucking planner. Like, it's kind of crazy. I'm like ringleader of my fucking band. Like, setting up shows. Like, I order all the fucking merch, all that shit. Do the podcast shit and all that. But like, I don't know. I feel like I do all that planning to where like I just don't want to fucking plan anything else. Like my girl, she's a fucking planner and a half. Like anytime we're going somewhere, she's pulling up 20 places, being like, you want to go here, you want to go there. Like I'm the type of dude like I go somewhere and we're standing on the corner of the fucking venue and I go, yo, I'm fucking feeling homicidally hungry. And I like Google whatever's like 2 minutes away from me. I'm like, yo, we're eating here.
There you go. That's the way to
Unless
do it.
someone like hype something up and they're like, you got to try this or something. But uh, like back when like No Good Deed first started, like Poop Toss, like he's a fucking food nerd. Like his like rule anytime like throughout the years that like he played with us was always like we do not eat at a fucking corporate establishment like when we go to eat. And his wife is like a fucking Yelp nerd where like he's like on that shit like hammering places and like
Mhm.
looking for good places. So like anytime we like even like before we left for a trip, he'd be like, "Yeah, we're eating at this little cafe or like this fucking pizza place or whatever." I just don't fucking care, dude. Like
Uh
if I find something cool, whatever. Like if someone's got something to toss out and it's convenient, I'll go for it. But
yeah.
I
Yeah.
just don't give a shit.
I kind of got that same rule myself. I said, if I'm traveling anywhere, I don't want to eat anything that I could eat back at home.
Yeah,
Like
like I can call that. Like I ain't trying to eat McDonald's or nothing like
fucking
that.
Chili's or fucking something stupid. Like I don't even go to
Yeah,
Chili's here. Like I don't go to Chili's anywhere. I boycotted that place fucking 10 years ago. I'm done with the Applebee's and all that
yeah.
bullshit.
Even around here, like I mean, occasionally like we had like Taco Bell last night, but I mean, you can't go wrong with Taco Bell.
Never, always a go-to when I'm struggling to look for like what the fuck. All right, Taco Bell. Let's end this problem now and
Yeah,
just eat.
but I will say I am a sucker for like a good ass pizza joint. Like I don't eat it like Domino's or Pizza Hut or nothing like that. I always look for like some weird hole in the wall shit because like it's kind of hard to fuck up pizza, but like every now and again you get fucking lucky and you find some baller ass pizza.
Yeah, dude. I'm working on this. I don't know if it's gonna for the show when you guys come here. Just to get people in the door early. Me and this other guy from this band, Poison Tongues, we are gonna try to order a bunch of pizzas and bring them to the show and say, we'll give free pizza until it fucking runs out. If you guys will show up before the first fucking band, just to get people in the door early. You know how it is. A lot of people like to fucking straggle in late or halfway through the
Yeah,
show. If we could somehow entice them to show up a little bit early for some free
yeah.
pizza and shit like that, why not?
I mean, you tell me when there's gonna be free food, bro. We're gonna fucking be there and like we're
Yeah.
gonna fuck shit up.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. As long as Maxwell's okay with it, like there's not really like food there, so I don't know if it'd be an issue. Like, I don't think it would. Just to get some people in the door early. That means more people buying beer early, more people hanging out. For more
You could
support
even
for the
like do one of
bands.
those things where it's like a lot of bands or not bands, like promoters will do be like, it like I don't even remember what you put. Is it like 10 or $15 for the show?
Yeah, I think it's 13. Yeah,
Something like that. Like some people would be like, oh, like if you're here before the first band starts playing, it's like $8.
yeah, exactly.
Something like
That's
that.
That is a
You know,
cool. Yeah, I know that one.
break down and play it, you're playing 13. You know.
Hmm. Yeah, that one fucking Philly Unity barbecue. I remember it was like $2 before the first band and then like 15 after. Like that's a
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna save that money and show up
yeah.
because I mean everyone's guilty of it. I mean, I've shown up late to shows, but like I don't know, man. This economy, you throw some shit out like that, like people are gonna take it.
You save the five and buy a beer, or so, whatever. You
Yeah,
save a few bucks here and there, and free pizza. Like you get fucking, you know, I say a snack, or some people it'd be dinner for them for free. It'd be a snack for me.
yeah,
But I mean, I hope that pans out. That'd be really cool. This place, I already got it set up to what the pizza I'm going to get to. It's this place over by me. It's BC's Pizza. It's a big, it's a pan pizza. It's a deep dish like squares. They do these giant party pizzas, like fucking 24 giant square slices, and I'll get like I mean,
yeah,
four or five of those, hopefully get, you know,
yeah,
75 to 100 people in, right off the bat would be fucking awesome.
yeah, dude. I fuck with some deep dish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's good, man. And, I get a Cajun crust on it, a little garlic butter on top, extra cheese. Shit,
I
can't go
never had
wrong.
that.
Oh, yeah. It's ridiculous, especially out here. There's other pizza places. Like, do you like sauerkraut or no? You fuck with sauerkraut?
I gotta be like fucking starving, dude. Like I think
Ah,
like if it's on like a fucking like sausage or kibasi type thing, like I could
yeah.
like do it, but like I ain't one of those weird motherfuckers you'll see just like eating it out of a fucking bowl.
No, what I was getting to is there's this place. I tell everybody about it, like anybody who comes. Like, if you like, it's a sauerkraut pizza. It's like regular pizza, it's pizza sauce, very light pizza sauce, but they saute the sauerkraut in bacon and onions, and then they put it on top of the pizza with like more like mozzarella cheese and bake it to where it's like got like a good crispy crust, and the top of the sauerkraut's like a little crispy too. Dude, it sounds crazy, but it's really really good.
No, you got me intrigued. Like I don't know if I would go out of my way and order a pizza of that, but like if you showed up and you're like, yo, take a piece of this, I'd eat a fucking piece of that.
It's so good. Like people are blown away because you got bacon and sauerkraut. I even think they add pepperoni onto it too. But you got to get it well done so the crust is like nice and like when you bite it, it crunches. Because if you
Yeah.
don't, it's kind of soggy because the sauerkraut. That's how I get it anyway. And I just tell everybody about it. They're like, "What the fuck, sauerkraut on pizza? That's like the craziest thing I ever heard." I'm like, "Well, it is until you try
I
it."
think they got weird shit like that here. Like you ever eat pierogies?
Oh yeah, I fuck with pierogies.
Dude, we got pierogi pizza here.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, that's what I'm
Like
talking about.
yeah, my
Oh,
go-to is usually like a barbecue chicken pizza from this place called Shelly Pie right by my crib.
ooh.
Fried chicken with it, and like, dude, the cheese is like mad thick on it. And like you get like I think it's like a 16 cut pizza for 19 bucks.
Holy shit.
Uh, yeah, me and my girl will get that and like we'll eat it for like 3 fucking days off $19. Like you can't beat.
Hey man, the secret is though, when you have leftover pizza, you got to put it in the air fryer. You ever done that?
I have before, but I'm usually just a heathen. I just throw in the fucking microwave, dude. I don't care.
I don't care. I don't want to waste 8 minutes. What can be fucking 30
Yeah,
seconds.
it could already be in my stomach at that point. But
No, I'm that guy. I'm gonna do the leftovers right. A little extra garlic butter, some Parmesan cheese, maybe some for hot pepper flakes. I don't know.
I don't know if you ever had this. You ever have a pizza that like it's real good, like when you get it like at the fucking place or whatever, but then the second day it's even fucking better than it was the first day.
Yeah, that's like 8 out of 10 places in my opinion. It's always better when you take
Yeah,
it
I don't
home.
know if it's 'cause, like the shit coagulates in there and like soaks in or something, but like same thing with that barbecue pizza.
Mm.
Like it's fire when you eat it the first day and you're like, yo, this is insane. But I don't know if it's like the juice is soaking into the bread or whatever, but like the second day you're like, yo, like this that fucking shit.
Ah, oh man, get me all excited about fucking pizza. No, man, for sure for that show. Regardless if we give pizza out to the people, regardless, I'm still bringing pizza. You got to try this pizza. I'll try to grab
All
the
right.
sauerkraut one, but I'm talking about the deep dish for sure. What else do we got? What do we got to talk about? You guys have any more cool shows booked right now besides what some shit at the end of the summer and whatever else?
Yeah, we got a few lined up.
If you can't say, I understand, but.
Uh, All of them have been announced, I think, except for one, but it's one in Columbus, and he can suck it. I'll talk about it anyway. But yeah, August 3rd, I think. Let me look at the fucking calendar. Yeah, August 3rd, we're playing it Preserving with Momentum. They're another days band, and it's like Chamber, Orthodox, and some other band called Cell. That should be cool. Another like hometown joint. That'll be like our first show since the release show that we did with like Gridiron and Never Ending Game.
Oh yeah, dude, that show looked fucking stacked, Bill, dude. I almost wanted to come to Preserve Me just for that one, but I just couldn't swing it.
Yeah, it was a good ass show, and that was like the first hardcore show that they did in the big room. And I was like a little nervous about it because like, dude, like when you see it for Code's World, fucking, it's a big fucking room, and like if you're anything shy of like 250 people, like it'll be like sparse and just like look bleak. You know what I mean? Where it
Oh
just be
yeah,
like people
empty.
everywhere. Yeah. But they closed off the top floor for that show, so it was like cool. Everyone was down on the bottom. Like there was still like a big open area for like people to dance and shit. But yeah, it was cool. I was pleasantly surprised because originally it was going to be in the downstairs room, and it probably would have came close to selling out down there to where it would have been like packed in shoulder to shoulder. But I think like don't quote me on it, but I think there was a little over 300 some people showed up for the release show. And even with like that big like area for people to dance, like it was still cool. Like it didn't feel weird or nothing. But yeah, we got that Momentum show with them other bands I mentioned. And the week after, I don't know how far Cleveland is for you.
About 2 hours.
2 hours. We're gonna be playing I think it's I gotta keep looking at the calendar.
No
But
class.
yeah, no class, August 12th. We'll be playing with Live It Down. They're on Triple B Records.
Hell yeah.
Our buddies in they're like a newer band from Cleveland called You Die First.
Yeah, yeah, I know who that band is, dude. They're really good.
Yeah, it's like one of the like the few newer bands like came out that like I'm actually like, yeah, their shit sound cool.
Heavy
Yeah,
as
because
fuck.
I don't know about you, a lot of like aside from like big names and stuff, a lot of like bands that come out like now, I just kind of like cringe at them and shit, and I'm just like don't even ask me how it is. I don't want to have to lie to you, but like, but yeah, I found out about them and they hit us up about the show, and I was actually like pleasantly surprised. Where I was like, yo, I don't gotta like a lot of these dudes. Like, I actually like think this shit's cool. But
They're also
they hit
on
us,
Collide Records. You Die First.
yeah, and but they asked us to come play out there, so it's us, them, Live It Down, and then there's like a grudge band, a couple other. I'm not even gonna butcher them, but there's a couple other Cleveland bands playing. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, that'll be a
And then
good one.
fucking then we got your show on the 9th with Annie Up, Poison Tongues, Pain Clinic. Am I forgetting one?
Um, yeah, I don't even remember who the fuck's on this show. No disrespect.
But
I don't remember who's playing.
yeah, and then it ain't even like finalized yet, but it's gonna be like us, Pain Clinic, and I'm not sure what the other bands are. They're kind of up in the air, but if my boy Pat pulls it out of his hat, it'll be a really cool show in Columbus the day after. But
Nice. You guys
if
got
not,
something Friday? You guys doing something Friday on the way to Detroit, or not? You just gonna
nah,
drive a?
yeah, we're just gonna drive out, and then like I said, I don't know if we'll stay the night in Detroit or get a hotel there or something, and then we're gonna play out in Columbus on Sunday on the way back.
Nice, man. That's a cool little fucking weekend run.
Yeah, and then yeah, the only other show we got's like all the way in January, and they ain't announced it yet, but that should be cool. It'll be in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah, man. You guys I know you just dropped your shit, but you probably always got something, you know, up your sleeve. You guys already working on new shit even though the other thing just dropped, or just trying to run off the momentum of what you got right now.
Yeah, absolutely not. We've just been like, because we've been like hammering away at it for like 2.5 years or so, like wholeheartedly like fucking with the record. And like, I mean, we had everything done back in like November of last year. And then it was like, all right, we got the songs recorded. Then like, got them with days and like set up like a whole like, like I've always just like recorded my fucking shit and then like we're like, yo, what's up? CD's coming out in a week. Like, boom, here it is. And it was a lot different with this because he was like, we're gonna do like a whole like rollout for it with like, there's fucking like music sites writing about it and shit and like dropping the singles in like a certain time frame and everything. And he had like all these people that like they fucking scour the internet to like see when shit's releasing because you know how it is. Like it's like the flavor of the fucking day on Facebook and shit, where it's like, what's the big thing today or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it's a here and gone. Like, what's next? Yeah.
Yeah, like you got like your 24-hour window of like people giving a shit about whatever you just dropped, and like you don't want to drop a song and then some other like big bands like, yo, what's up? We just dropped a CD like on your fucking day, like stealing your thunder. So like they had that all like squared away to make sure like nothing like that went on. And so yeah, like everything was locked in like the end of like January kind of
Damn.
because I had to go back to the studio because like like in the intro I yelled like no good deed, so like had to like switch that out and like touch a couple things up, drop like the Power of Fear name and new songs and shit. And but yeah, like yeah, we had it like ready to fucking fire out of the chamber since like all the way done since like January. And then we started doing the whole rollout in the beginning of May. So I mean, yeah, we're obviously gonna like start writing soon, but we got a whole fucking CD. Like there's not any like immediate rush to like, we gotta like do the clap back on this one already. Like I figure at the very least we'll chill for like 6 months to a year on it or so. I don't know. We don't have any plans on like EP or a full length or a split with another band if they asked or anything. Yeah, a couple bands already asked to do a split, and I'm like, we dropped our CD like a week ago. Like, chill the fuck out.
Hey,
But,
yeah, hey man, you guys got the fucking it's like some. It's cool to see a band just just it's like full speed ahead right away. You guys got some traction behind you. I mean, you can look at Spotify, monthly listeners and shit like that, but there's more out there than that. But
yeah,
it's like, wow, it's fucking cool. I mean, I'm sure. I don't know how much with a no good deed like
I mean, we had a
um
decent following with it, but dude, like, Days definitely helped shoot it out into like thousands of people that would have never heard about it otherwise. So like, I can't thank him enough for like taking us in and fucking believing in us and shit.
yeah. I mean, you guys. I mean, with the other members in the band, I know you rattled off a couple other bands that they were all a part of, but is there any other bands that like people would know? The people that are in your band now have played at other bands.
Our drummer Harrison, he had a little short stint in Face Wreck, and then he just
Yeah,
dropped off of that. Um, our dr or no, our guitar player and bass player, they were in this other band from Pittsburgh called Cemented in Fear, but they both recently just quit that. So, I mean, I guess it counts. They were in it. Like they just dropped a new CD uh, with Cemented in Fear that just came out. Uh, when the fuck was it? Like 2 days ago or something.
nice.
Yeah, that shit's cool. My buddy Connor sings in that band. And aside from that, I mean, I played in Watcher and uh, the entire band Power of Fear. We're all in another band called Mob Swarm. But that's just kind of like a side project we do. And it's kind of like it's the same exact people from Power of Fear, but we're all just kind of like musical instruments like shifted around. Where to break it down, the drummer of Power of Fear sings for Mob Swarm. The guitar player of Power of Fear drums in Mob Swarm. And then me, the singer of Power of Fear, I play guitar in Mob Swarms. Like we all just kind of shift a little bit, and the bass player stays where the fuck he belongs. But yeah, it's more, I'd say like a faster metallic hardcore, but we don't do all that much with it. It's more just like a side thing we do. Like we play shows here and there, and we have one EP we dropped like I think like 2 years ago. But who knows? Maybe we'll do some more shit with it soon because, like I said, we've been focusing on this record for so fucking long. Like Mob Swarms has been on the back burner, just kind of chilling. But yeah, now that we're like not like, I mean, we're still playing shows and everything, but it's not like, oh my God, we got to do this, this, and this, like for the fucking record. Like, I don't know, we got time to chill and do whatever the fuck we want instead of worrying about like what's right in front of us now.
Sure. Yeah, that's cool, man. You guys can just kind of relax now that's finally out and let it do its thing and pick up whenever you feel the time
Yeah,
is right.
a big fucking sigh of relief. Like, all right, it's fucking here finally. Because there was so much going into it. So it's like, it's been like the focus of my life for like 2 fucking years. So I'm like happy to just like chill and let it marinate for at least a little bit before we fucking start hammering back on it.
Yeah, man. Do you have any particular favorite song off your guys' album that you know?
For me personally, I'd probably say Tears of Shame is probably my favorite song. I don't know if you listen to that one or not, but it's got Shane from Fire in the Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and him been friends for like over 10 fucking years too. And same thing when we wrote that song. Like, I don't know if you've ever listened to Fire in the Blood, but they're cool. Like, it's kind of like crossover metalcore, hardcore. But I've always liked Shane's vocals. And when I was writing that song and I had like the lyrics and the layout for it, like I was just like thinking, I was like, yo, like his voice would like fit this shit perfect and hit him up. And he did that song with me. And that's probably my favorite one. And then for like a deep cut, I'd probably say the song Shit Could Be Worse is up there just because it's so much different than all the other songs on the CD. Like, I wouldn't even call it like singing. Like, you heard that song.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know. It's almost like weird crowbar yelling for like the chorus of that song to where like I didn't even have that song like written like that whenever like we almost didn't record that song at all. Like, we kind of had it just on the back burner. And like a week before studio, I was like, yo, like I wrote some extra lyrics to this. I'm kind of happy with how it came together. And I was like, I do want to record this song. And everyone was like, oh, we never knew we weren't gonna. And I was like, yeah, well, I changed my mind twice and I'm on board with it again. And
Nobody knew though.
yeah, but I had no idea, like, aside from like, like I want these lyrics and kind of shit to go with it. Like, I didn't really have an idea. Like, the weird, like, yell singing shit I did, like, that was literally like, I did all the lyrics up to that part and then, like, kind of yelled it just, like, kind of like regular once or twice. And I was like, wait a minute. And I was like, let me try something weird here, real quick. And then, like, ended up doing that weird, like, yell singing shit. And,
I'm
like,
gonna have to go back and listen to it again to really I'm gonna try to find exactly what you're talking about because I've listened to the whole thing multiple times, but I just can't put my finger on what you're trying to describe. So I'll have to go back and
it's
listen.
like this weird deep yelling shit where it's like life sucks and it hurts, but I guess that shit could be worse.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I know exactly
Yeah.
what you're saying
Like somebody
now. Yeah,
yelling or some shit. But
you got a
yeah,
good
like
voice, man.
I got a decent bit of range to it, but I was really like nervous about it when I did that song because like I've never done anything like that on any of our songs before. So like I still had another session to go back and finish the rest of the songs. And I was like, just let me try this and like, let me stew on it for a little bit. And I was really unsure like if it fit or like if it just fucking straight up sucked. And I started like sending it to a couple of my homies and was like, do you think of this? Like, is this too much? Is this shit fucking lame? But everyone was like, dude, this is fucking cool. Like, it's out of the box. Like, you know, run with that shit. So I ended up keeping it, and I'm like glad I did because kind of stepped out of my comfort zone, and I feel like it paid off.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Do you ever find it like hard to listen back like to shit without like like shaking your head, or are you like you're pretty confident in what you do? Like if I ever have to listen to back my podcast, I'm just like just fucking put a bullet in my head. Like I hate listening back to it because
I mean,
it's different than music, I suppose. Well, obviously it is, but like it just seems like when I listen back, I'm like, I hope somebody likes it.
yeah, I definitely know what you're saying because like I've done podcasts before and like I've listened back to it and I'm like, oh Jesus fucking Christ, man. Like, I hate this shit. But definitely with like the first like three No Good Deed CDs, like I mean, they were what they were. Like we were kind of figuring our shit out, but like objectively, like I personally don't like them anymore just because like I like cringe hearing it and like like what we do now compared to that. Like I get like you got to start somewhere and move up, but like I'm like, fuck, man, I wish like at least one or two people would be like, yo, you guys fucking suck. You need to like do something better instead of everyone just going, nice set, man, that was sick. Like I feel like some constructive criticism would have went a long way like earlier on. Got to this point sooner, but with I don't know how much you listen to No Good Deed, but whenever we had our third EP, it was called At the Seams. I don't know if you ever seen it, where it's got like a dude like ripping his like head open and shit on it.
I'm not familiar with the album art. No,
But
I'll look it up right now.
that was kind of like the turning point for us, where like I said, everything was just kind of like kind of like breakdown shit. And when we
Oh,
did,
caveman.
yeah, and up until then, like we didn't know much about studios or anything like that, or like what you had to do to get like a good sounding like recording. But I don't know, like the first three CDs we did, like yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But every time we recorded that stuff, like I'd be listening to it and be like, all right, cool. But like in the back of your head, like you're showing people it in like a car or at a show or something, you're like, oh man, I hope people like this kind of thing. But like once we did like the At the Seam CD, and then like we did another little 3 song like demo, and then with like this new CD that we just put out now, like there's a whole lot more like confidence behind it because like I didn't go in being like, oh fuck, I hope people like this. Like with those like recordings, like it was like, you were showing people and you're like, yo, this is that fucking shit, yo. Like, like having some confidence behind it because it's not like you're not hoping it's good, like it's good. Like I get you can't like fucking tickle everybody's fancy and be like, you ain't gonna be make everyone happy. You can't please everybody, but like for like the majority of people, it's like, yeah, like if you're into this shit, like you're gonna fuck with this, and like I feel like that goes a long way as opposed to just being like, oh man, I really hope people like this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good mindset to have, like you understand the work put into it and you know, obviously your own opinion matters more than anybody else's in the shit you do, but you
Yeah,
always be your biggest critic and for you to have the confidence to say like, yo, this shit fucking bangs, then like
yeah,
it's good. It's good. There's no second guessing, which is fucking cool, man. It's good to see people who found a sound and they put it out there knowing that people will fuck with it. So, congrats on that.
yeah. Thanks, man. I mean, there's a big difference between just like putting out a product and then like standing behind your product.
Yeah, 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 man. That's a good way to put it. Shit. I'm looking forward to see you guys live here, man. Because I know a lot of people I talk to anyway. They say they fuck with you guys, so I hope the show's gonna be fucking fantastic in September.
Well, yeah, everyone that's telling Rob here that they fuck with this band, you better show the fuck up.
Yeah, show up and fucking break someone's head open, or not. Um, yeah, dude, it's gonna be a good night with fucking Annie up on it and Poison Tongues. We mentioned them. They've been around a long fucking time. They used to have they have a different singer from when they started back in maybe I don't know, like 2009, 2010. But you know that band Earth Mover from Detroit? Do you remember
Yeah,
Earth
I've heard
Mover?
that.
Okay, well, so their singer used to sing for them. Blah, he had to take care of life shit. So they got a different singer, but he plays guitar and sings at the same time. He's a fucking great guitarist, and for him to be able to play and sing at the same time, which I kind of on the t- I'm open. I think it's weird when like a hardcore band like has like their front man like fucking plays the instrument at the same time. I just think it's weird. Like it's not weird. It's just it's
Yeah,
different.
I
Like
don't
normally you have a
like.
front man running around acting crazy. They got to stay still. But it's one of the few bands I'm like, yo, this fucking singer has great energy. He's great on guitar. He knows how to fucking control the crowd. So it's good to see they don't get as much notoriety as they should because they've been doing it so fucking long. Just like Ante Up, they've been doing it. I think they just for 20 years this year, or maybe 16, 17 years. They've been around
Yeah,
so long, and I'm sure you've seen them quite a few times in Pittsburgh over the
yeah.
years.
Detroit, I've seen them in. I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh a couple times, and like Altoona.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but like you were saying with like bands like playing guitar and yelling, like even if I'm not into a band, any band I see that like is playing guitar and yelling at the same time, like they instantly get like four more cool points in my opinion, just because like I played in a really shitty like kind of like crossover like kind of like dumbass dying fetus watered down kind of like death metal band where we only put out two songs. You could look it up. It's called Apex of Fear.
Okay.
But I did these two songs and we recorded them, and I did the same thing where I played guitar and yelled for like these fucking songs, and like
Mm.
that was the first time I ever did that for a band. And dude, it's like fucking patting your head, rubbing your stomach on fucking like PCP, like trying to do that shit, like.
Oh,
Cause like I've been playing guitar since I was 13, dude. Like, I can riff like a motherfucker, but like it's straight up like different. Like for like how I yelled for like Deed and like Power of Fear, it's always kind of been almost like a melody over the rhythms, like with like the flow and style I do. But when you play guitar and like yell at the same time, I don't sound the same as I do when I'm just fucking yelling by itself. And B, you kind of gotta like time your rhythm and like you also kind of gotta like dumb down your lyrics a little bit depending on like what you're fucking doing because like there's so much going on with your hands and then you gotta fucking like move your fucking mouth in a rhythm with it. Like it almost feels like you're playing a completely fucking different instrument. Like there's yelling, playing guitar, and then like yelling, playing guitar is like a completely different fucking animal. Cause like I could play guitar great, but like dude, like I couldn't play the Power of Fear songs and yell them if I fucking practiced for months. Because like
wow. Okay.
it's just so different, like to the style. But like speaking of bands that play guitar and yell, you ever listen to No Reason to Live?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, those are the homies. And
Okay.
like Bonadio, he sings and plays guitar for them. Like he's a
Yo.
fucking maniac. Like he'll be doing like kind of like not like insane like rhythms and yelling, dude, but then he'll be fucking shredding while he's like doing that shit too, or he's like sweeping and doing all this like whittly diddly shit. And
Okay.
like he's a walking fucking hardcore metal fucking miracle.
Yeah, breaking it down the way you did that helps me put it more into perspective, like not just like the talent behind it, but being able to have your brain fire in all these different fucking directions at the same
It's
time
like some
is
left right brain shit at the same time.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying when you break it down like that, but like as I said, like a stage presence for a hardcore band is just like a different thing. That's what I was trying to explain.
Yeah,
I'm not necessarily against it, but the energy is different on the stage, in my
it can
opinion.
be done, but it's got to be done right.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah. And then once again, I was getting Poison Tongues. They do it well. So,
Yeah. I mean, there's like bands like Nails, like I don't know if you ever listened to Ingrown, like they
oh
do the
yeah,
same thing,
yeah.
like those dudes can fucking pull it off. But I mean, I've also seen it where I'm like, dog, pick one or the other. Like you better just play guitar yelling.
Yeah, yeah. So you said I couldn't remember who was on that show. Fucking Bitter Truth from Grand Rapids, Michigan. You ever heard of them?
Oh
Ever? Yeah, yeah. Them and Under the Knife from Flint, dude. They just put out a new song last week. I talked about them on the Never Ending Game podcast. I give them try to get them out there. I mean, everybody wants to do what they can, so I try to help them out. They're really good, but they've been around a few years. They just kind of under the radar right now, trying to push them out there.
yeah, I seen that video you posted of them playing it tied down. You know, it looked like people were fucking with it.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. God, there's so much. Ante Up, Pain Clinic, the homies from Pittsburgh. That's gonna be good, dude.
Awesome.
Um, then we got Power of Fear. Oh shit! Can't wait for you guys. and
Yeah, dude.
I, and it's weird because um just like the whole hardcore scene and being so like different regions the Pittsburgh's not that far from fucking Detroit. So for you guys to have such like a you have like such a strong scene. It's always been a force, like Pittsburgh people and the bands that have coming out of there, and also Detroit. And it's just a cool connection. Be 5.5 hours away, and people
I
can like
think it's only
trade.
like 4.5. I
Okay,
think.
okay, it's not
Yeah, it's
that.
not that bad. Like everyone I talked to, they're like, "What? It's only that far away." And like, I don't know why, but like, just saying it, it sounds like it'd be further away, but it really ain't that fucking bad.
Yeah, it's got to
You know,
rip down that fucking turnpike.
it's like really.
Yeah, fuck. You guys take the turnpike. It's like $11.
Oh, dog, it's like you go to Philly and back, it's like $80.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot. So, but like you just get on like and I'm trying to. Yeah, you're right. Because I got fucked. I got fucked going to. I drove to Reading, Pennsylvania, and I got shit on because there's a
Yeah,
turnpike all the way through Ohio.
that's
And
basically almost to Philly anyway. It's like an hour, hour and a half, like
okay,
before it. But
yeah,
yeah, like time, like I can avoid tolls, dude. I fucking try to, but like if you go from like Pittsburgh to Philly, like with without an easy pass, it's like $80, and that was like 2 years ago. So it's probably like
mm,
fucking close to 100 now or some shit. But
damn,
if
dude.
if you don't take the turnpike to go to Philly, like it straight up adds like an hour, maybe almost an hour and a half to your fucking drive.
It's almost
Like, they
worth
got
it.
you by the fucking balls on that.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. Cocksuckers, fucking thieves.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I got to take a fucking toll to get to Detroit too, but it ain't no $100.
No, no. Once you get into Ohio, that's like the same. I think it's 80 or 90. I think it's 80. I-80. Once you get into Ohio, it's only like I don't know, maybe $15 at the most. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
they fucking ding you when you come back to PA too. Like it's like whenever you're leaving, Ohio's like, yo, what's up? You're leaving, like I need like $9 or $10. And then you drive for like 10 more minutes and they're like, yo, what's up to Pennsylvania? Like, hey, I'm gonna need another 18 from your ass just for coming back to where you fucking live.
It's so
So it's worse
fucked.
when I come back, dude, because I think you only get hit with like one when you leave, but like it's straight up like you get hit from Ohio and then 10 minutes later from PA. They're like, Ohio's like, thanks for coming. And then PA's like, thanks for fucking coming back.
Cocksuckers, I tell you.
Yeah. And like, same thing. There ain't no fucking way to go around it without it being like insanely long.
Yeah, well, fuck tolls. Um, so I don't know, man. We fucking got about an hour and a half going here now. Just to say thanks again. I'm looking forward to seeing more from you guys eventually in the future. And I can't wait to see you guys live. It's gonna be a fucking good time. You guys come here. Hope it all turns out well. I'm thinking it will.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. And yeah, we're stoked to fucking come up there too and just see what the future holds in general. I mean, record's been out for like 3 weeks right now, and like it just seems like it's on the up and up. So hopefully it'll get some more traction and do some more cool shit as time goes on. But
Yeah.
who knows, bro?
Yeah, between you guys and Pain Clinic, fucking up. Pittsburgh's on fire right now. There's other bands, obviously, too, but those are my two. Those are the two I've been listening to for almost daily right now. So, any other
Yeah,
bands you want to give a shout out from fucking Pittsburgh? Anything that should be known by the masses that may not be?
I already talked about Cement and Fear. They're my friends. Everyone knows about Face Wreck already, and Pain Clinic. We're going out with them. I mentioned No Reason to Live. Uh, I mean, if you don't know, you should fucking know. Like Built Upon Frustration. That's like why half the bands in Pittsburgh exist. Everyone knows Enemy Mind. Uh, Pre-Built Upon No Retreat.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
And
Shit
whatever
like
happened
that.
with that fucking was it one on one? They did a couple shows and then just kind of stopped.
Yeah, that was Greenfield Mike, but he lives in Philly now, and
Oh
he's kind
okay.
of off the radar doing his hermit shit. And
Okay. Oh, I didn't know anything about it. I just know they were around, then it was just gone.
yeah, he kind of fell off. He don't really go to shows that much anymore. And
Okay.
I don't know if you ever heard of Tennis Swords. That was like
Yeah.
during mine. The dude that played guitar in that, he played guitar in Built Upon Frustration too. And he did one on one and Tennis Swords with Mike.
Hmm.
And my other buddy Jake Morris played bass for it. And then they had some Willie kid or whatever from like fucking New Jersey playing drums. But yeah, I don't know. It just kind of fell apart.
I mean, it was cool while it lasted. I went to Chicago and seen them. They were fucking sick.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for like any noteworthy bands, at least going on right now. At least for like Pittsburgh hardcore. You know,
Cool.
everyone's doing shit you probably already know about, and you're seeing them somewhere because we're all over the place.
Sure. We are everywhere. Cool, man. Well, we'll fucking wrap it up here. Once again, thank you. And I'll probably put this out for next week just because I do it every other week. At least I try to right now. It could be once a month, could be fucking 3 times a month, but when you know, it'll
Hey
go
man,
out soon. I'll let you know when I do.
yeah, it's your castle, man. You're the king. You do what you want.
I do what I want. And for the record, I said any bands you want to say for the masses, I mean like 5 people. So I don't want to sound like a dickhead. I said,
Nah, it's all good, man.
so cool. All right, man. Thanks again. And I will talk to you soon. All right.
All right, man. Thanks for having me, and I'll catch you later.
Cool, dude. I'll see you.